Hey, what's up, you all? Welcome back to my channel. In this video, I'll be talking about ticker symbol PLTR, Palantir Technologies Inc. The stock is trading at $26.67. This is not a penny stock. This is not a stock that can double overnight, but this is a very stable stock. And I reviewed this stock in December when it was trading around the same price point, $25.60, as you can see on my screen. Palantir was trading around $25-26 on December 28th, as you can see right here, and we were predicting that the stock can be doubled. Now let's take a look what happened to the stock since then. For, let's say, if we take a look at the 6-month chart and looking at 28-30th December, the stock was at $24 more or less, and the stock went all the way up to $39-40, and from there the stock came back during the recent deep and the way the market started going down, and then there was a sell-off for a couple of weeks earlier in February or earlier in March as well. So at that time, Palantir stock came back from $40 price point to all the way to $22. Now at that time, ARK Invest is heavily buying this stock. So in this video, we'll talk about three things. The first one is why Palantir could be a good buy once again from this price point. What are some of the exciting stuff that is going on? They also declared their financial earning and report for Q4 and 2020, which looks super attractive to me. Second thing is we'll discuss about some of the buzz that is going on in social media. Wall Street Bet and Reddit is very much interested in talking a lot about Palantir in general. There is Kathy Wood that is buying this stock pretty heavily on ARK Invest. Jim Cramer shared some of his thoughts as well, which is funny to see, so we'll also review that. And the third thing is we'll do the price prediction for Palantir, where this can go. In my opinion, the stock can be double. It can go to $50 level in 2021 if things work out, because they have some sort of unique business. They have contracts from government agencies, defense agency, which is going to be a kind of a stable business for Palantir. So we'll also review that part as well. The stock had a pretty nice run up last year, and for 1 month the stock looks 4% down, but for 6 months the stock is 181% up. As you can see, in November 2020, it was trading around $10 level, and it quadrupled from that price point, and it went to all the way $40. Now keep in mind that this is not a penny stock. This is not going to double within a week or within 2 weeks. It can happen, but we should not expect that. Before we go ahead, we should also talk about what is Palantir Technology. What do they do? Palantir Technology is an American software company that is specialized in big data analytics. These companies are data mining companies building software around huge amount of data and sharing that data insights with the companies and their clients that they work with. They have the softwares or the product and platforms that they already have with the Foundry and Gotham that has proven a great software to power real-time decisions for the large corporations. Institutions have data that they need to make best decisions for their safety. Many times they do not have that data when they need the most and when they need the insights the most. With the safety, stability, and prosperity, they can use their own data for their own benefit, but too often this data is fragmented and locked in silos. So what Palantir does is it is providing an opportunity to the people on the front line of their most important problems, that they do not have information as to what they need to do in future for the sales, for the marketing, for making sure that their product and product offering is stable, sustained, and safe for their clients itself. At Palantir, they build the software letting organizations provide integrity and integrated data in their decision, making their operations into one platform, and their software empowers the entire organization to answer complex questions quickly by bringing the right data when they need the most. And their data, this is a big data company, and they are taking data privacy pretty seriously as well. And they have this contract with government agencies, which is going to fuel their revenue. Looking at the revenue, they have a huge quarter last quarter in Q4, and they also have, in addition, a great future growth expectations as well. Palantir's reported revenue growth of 47% for the full year in 2020, and they're expecting this revenue in Q1 2020 to grow by 45%. Now let's take a look at the summary and a highlight. $1.1 billion is the revenue for the company for the full year in 2020, which is up 40% 47% year over year, which is a massive growth. PLTR has a lot of advantage because they're in the field of a very super lucrative field that they are in with big data and data analytics. Since their margins are pretty thick as well, and their customer base is super giant, and they're dealing with business to business, and I'll talk about that in a second as well. They had $322 million revenue in Q4, which is up 40% year over year. Their new contract in Q4 included all these big clients, including USRB, which is one of the key things that this is going to be a very stable business and stable client for PLTR. They're expecting revenue growth of 45% year over year. They generated this revenue by growing this customer per average. So per customer, they're making $7.9 million, which is an average of 41% higher year over year, because they are dealing with business to business. They're business to business company. Their revenue on an average from their 20 top customer was $33.2 million, which is up 34%. And in my previous video, I talked about this is a great opportunity as soon as they bring up the revenue higher per customer, because they are dealing with giant customers and big government agencies. The number of customers generating more than $1 million in annual revenue grew by 32% year over year for the company. The number of customers generating more than $5 million for the company grew by 54% YOY, and the number of customers generating more than 10 million grew by 50% for Palantir, which is a massive number. They incurred a loss of 156 million, which includes 240 million in stock-based compensation and 19 million related to employer payroll and taxes. But the company is soon going to be pretty profitable if they generate the more revenue as they're expecting, and if they keep up the momentum. On the top of that, Cathie Wood and ARK Invest has bought 2.6 million stocks in the deep at around $25 price point, and I'll cover that in more detail. But before we go there, let's talk about one more thing, that this stock is widely talked on social media, including Wall Street Bets and other platforms like Reddit, including Reddit. And if you take a look right here, putting all my stimulus money into PLTR, and then there is an endless discussion right here with 96 comments. So this stock is highly talked into the social media. Why do you think Cathie Wood is buying this particular stock? Why did they buy 2.6 million stocks within this day? Do you think that we should follow the ARK Invest and the way Cathie Wood makes money? We all know. Do you think that Cathie Wood is going to make money, who is one of the wisest investor in our time in this era? Do you think that it is widely talked? If a stock is widely talked on Reddit and other social media platforms, is going to do well and gain the traction and the momentum. They have been getting a lot of government contracts, which is a very stable situation for PLTR. Cathie Wood knows what she is doing. She has made a ton of money guaranteed for ARK Invest, at least at the moment, and she got the Wall Street confused. And let's take a look at what Jim Cramer has to say on this video. This is a pretty funny video. I hope you enjoy this 30-second video, and we'll talk about it in a little bit.
Jim's thoughts on Costco's quarter overall. Come on and join us after this show over on actionalertsplus.com for our daily rundown show, where we're going to be really digging into Broadcom earnings and Costco earnings. Now, Jim, at the top of the show, you mentioned Cathie Wood and ARK, and I want to talk specifically about their Palantir purchase from yesterday. They bought over 2.
So she is right. They're asking question to Jim Cramer about Palantir, and let's see what Jim Cramer has to say.
0.6 million shares. What are your latest thoughts on this stock, and do you think it's a buy?
You know, it's obvious this is a very core position, and it's a very good company. It does military grade software. How about that?
So they are doing military software, and they have the contract that I just mentioned. And this is the question about getting buying. ARK Invest bought 2.6 million shares just before a few days, right before March 5th. And let's talk about what Jim Cramer has to say. Let's listen to him.
And it gets a lot of different contracts. I see them endlessly as getting government contracts, and so therefore it's very steady work. What I don't understand is why you would do such concentrated buying at one level. I mean, that's just not, she's the greatest investor of our time. Isolated Tesla's got a lot of really good growth stocks. One day those will come back. But it's almost like obsession to just keep buying Palantir. And again, I'm reluctant to criticize the best of our time, but it's not what I would do. But that's not my style. She likes to be in and be in big, all at one level. And she's been buying Palantir, and I think that there are a lot of people on Wall Street bets that like Palantir. It is a very good company, but I don't know what it's worth. All I know is that she keeps buying it. If she walked away, it would be substantially lower.
So what he's trying to say is they're obsessed. ARK Invest is obsessed with this company. They're buying heavy stocks and heavy number of stocks in Palantir. And I understand why he probably doesn't get it. Because the government contract, he also already mentioned, that is a big thing. Big data is one of the biggest need. Cathie Wood, we know that she knows what she's doing. They have signed a huge partnership very recently right here, and they made the announcement, which is also one of the great thing right here. So Palantir and this company had a long-term strategic partnership. I don't know how to pronounce this name properly, but they have a 6-year strategic partnership with this particular company that is world's leading automotive technology to accelerate their digital transformation and ambition to be CO2 neutral. Now, Palantir Foundry has designed to help organizations integrate their and disparate their data sources and making sure that the best possible use of data is available. And this Foundry software to gain their sight into the data across the company, from manufacturing, purchasing, from engineering to finance. And the company Palantir has been doing this endlessly. They're pushing their boundaries to make sure that they can generate more and more revenue. I get it. They signed this partnership, which is one of a unique kind of a deal. They have this government contract, which is one of the unique kind of an opportunity. They do not really have ARK K and ARK W have been adding this Palantir stocks pretty aggressively, I want to say. Virtually, Palantir does not have any competition with this government contract and defense technology, data mining software that they're going to provide. Basically, they're investing in growing United States. In other words, if you want to think about it, they have the exclusive relationship with the defense sector, and they're a software as a service. So they're SaaS, software as a service provider for this United States government. Now, we do not know how big the contract could be because they keep signing the contracts, but the company has given us some of the guidance around. They are expecting that 41% high growth in revenue in upcoming quarter in Q1 2021, which is once again a great sign. The stock has been, as I mentioned, for if you take a look at the stock, it was trading at $10 and it went to all the way $40, and this could be another opportunity at $22. I think it's a little bit high priced at the moment, as you can see, but the stock is still in the red. There might be a possibility that it can go $1 or $2 lower from this price point. I'm thinking for myself to get into Palantir once again and see what I can get out of it. Looking at the chart looks pretty good. As you can see, 5-day chart, it is a staircase trying to go here at the higher levels. They have a pretty good support around $25. That support works as a strong support in if the stock can go up in the higher direction. I do not have my Fibonacci series right here, but the RSI looks pretty healthy, 49. The MACD, the blue line, looks pretty healthy as well. The blue is above the orange line, which is always a good thing. So we may not get the stock back to $22 level, but in my opinion, going back to my price prediction analysis, what I wanted to say, and before we do that, I want to also share one of this article only by Palantir stock if you have the patience to hold it. And I certainly agree with this, because this is not the stock like Zoom, or this is not the stock like CTRM or any other stock that doubled and tripled overnight. This is not a penny stock. This is a huge business with they have millions of dollars in revenue, close to $1.1 billion last year that we have seen. And this is a data mining software technology company. They had a difficult month as well. And as you can see, it dropped as well from $40. So as you can see right here, Palantir shares have lost more than 45% value after hitting all-time high of $45. So from $22 level that when we discussed this in December, it went to all the way $45, got back to $27 level. Now this requires some patience. Now this is less risk but high reward stock that you can double your money if you don't really want to look at your brokerage account on a daily basis. In my opinion, this is a very growing sector, very stable sector. One of the things that you also want to notice is ARK Investment has bought 2.6 million shares of PLTR in this dip. The stock's strong future outlook and for the end of lockup period that they had caused some concern and the stock dipped. And moreover, this is not the first time that the investment firm purchased PLTR, but ARK Invest has been adding and adding and adding. The Wall Street is also bullish on this stock. In February, Goldman Sachs analyst also mentioned that gave that this stock a target of $34. He also cited that improved visibility into achieving long-term target and the upgrade, as we have seen that they have business to business operation model. It is highly talked on the Wall Street bets. Not ARKG, but ARK Invest is super bullish on this stock. It has got a lot of traction. The company has revenue projection. The company has a lot of unique contract. It is in a very unique situation. In my opinion, the stock can 2x in 2021 if things go accordingly. If it is $50 before even the end of the year, I would not be surprised. In terms of price prediction, I can say that the stock can hit $50 or at least it can go to $45 once again. A very good opportunity to buy and forget about this stock for a few months, and someone can double your money. I'm not a financial advisor. I just do my due diligence and research. This video should be taken as educational purposes and or entertainment purposes. I do not advise on buying or selling stock. I do not have any certification. I'm just a random person on YouTube. So do your own due diligence and research before you buy PLTR, before you buy any other stock, before you buy Zomedica Corp, before you buy CTRM. I'm just here to share my opinion and thoughts. Consider subscribing to my channel. As you have seen, you might have seen this stock in December when it was $24, might have doubled your money, sold it and get in once again at this price point. I highly encourage you to subscribe to my channel. Click on the like button. It takes me a while to do this video and share this information with you. So your like is very much appreciated and I will see you in the next video. Thanks all for watching and happy investing.